Mr. Ambassador, President Zelensky has said that 4 years into this conflict, we are now heading towards the first stages of a Third World War. Do you think he's right?
Well, I do believe that there are a lot of reasonable people in the world and in Europe that will that will impede development in this area. But of course, if we will leave it unanswered, everything might happen. And at this point, I have to point out the danger of transfer of nuclear weapon, because in Ukrainian crisis, some people are looking for a game changer, which is very dangerous. And we have made a statement yesterday, very important statement and serious one, that London and Paris probably are working on a possibility of transferring components, technologies, or equipment of nuclear weapon to Ukraine just to reinforce their position in the negotiation table.
It seems to me very, very unlikely, certainly that Britain would allow nuclear weapons to go into Ukraine. But moving on from that, we've seen Korean and Chinese forces involved on your side, on the Russian side. There have been other Western people involved in the Ukrainian side. Iran's involved. We can see this beginning to spread in different directions if we're not careful.
Well, in a way, I haven't heard about Chinese forces involved in our area, of course. But well, we are doing everything now to put an end to the conflict in order to put a serious negotiation proposals to the table and negotiation platform over there. It does exist, and I hope that we shall have talks pretty soon. I do not have a date at the moment for continuation of Geneva talks with Ukraine and participation of the United States, but they are tuned to do that differently, very differently from the European countries. They stand for prolongation of conflict, which is bad. They stand to supply Ukraine with weapons. And yesterday there were lots of brave and belligerent comments on that side that the Ukraine army is very strong. It is still capable to defend, to fight Russian, that there is an economy of Russia is in ruins. And we have shortage of people, which is a kind of a self-induced hypnosis, I will say.
But your president could stop this war like that in a second, if he chose to.
We set up certain objectives, and we are well, constant in implementing these objectives. And of course, we should deal with root causes of the conflict. Ukraine should not be in NATO, and we have to eliminate all discrimination of Russian population and Russian people over there. This is important.
But do you think there is an outcome which leaves a Ukraine which is independent of everybody and able to defend itself, that is acceptable to the Kremlin?
I will refer to one statement by Zelensky. He has said that either Ukraine will be in NATO or it will possess nuclear weapon. This is a very dangerous statement, and that is why we are indicating now we have certain information about that. Ukraine may be an independent state if it will be friendly, and of course it has sovereignty and all of that, but it should be friendly to Russia, not an opponent, not an adversarial state, and not a weapon of Western countries against Russia.
Here we have been obsessed by the Epstein scandal. You've seen the fall of the US, the previous UK ambassador to Washington, and the former prince as well. It's been a major scandal here. If you look at the Epstein papers, there is an American side to the story, there is a British side to the story, but there is also a Russian side to the story. A lot of the girls who were trafficked came from Russia, came through Britain to Epstein's island. Epstein had contacts with Moscow and at one point described himself as the financial advisor to President Putin. We're having an inquiry. The Americans are having an inquiry. Are the Russians going to have an inquiry?
Well, Andrew, this is not my cup of tea at all, and I cannot say that I spent much time on reading all these stories about Epstein and those involved into that. I can imagine that it's a big scandal for United Kingdom, of course, obviously it is for the United States, even for Denmark and others. As for his connection and girls, I have no say in this at all.
I mean, the Polish Prime Minister says that Epstein was probably a Russian asset.
No, come on. So it is up to Polish minister because he is saying very many nonsenses. If you will read everything what he is saying, you will get mad, of course.
So no Russian connection, no sort of honey trap operation being run from
I
Moscow?
have never heard that he has been in Russia or something like that. Girls, perhaps, why not? They have, some of them have no nationality.
All right. Returning to the big subject, more than 1 million Russians have been killed or injured, well over 1 million, in this conflict. Given what's happened so far, how far Russia has advanced, has it really been worth it?
Well, first of all, talking about ciphers makes no sense at all. All ciphers that appeared yesterday about losses in the newspapers or pronounced by some officials, they are very far from reality. I know ciphers that has been elaborated by independent experts, but I do not want to, they are much lower. But I simply do not want
So much
to,
lower than 1 million?
Much lower on it, but I trust these experts because they explained the methodics. They are not taken from the ceiling, but actually there is a methodic to do that. So ciphers are very far from it. If you speak about achievements, so these are not measured in kilometers or square meters or at all. We do not want to lose lives of our soldiers for photo opportunities. But everybody understands that Ukraine is steadily losing. It is losing economically, it is losing human industrial potential, it is losing human potential because of exodus of Ukrainians from Ukraine and because of losses on the front. So Ukraine is shrinking, and pretty quickly, I will say.
Do you think that Ukraine can carry on with Western European support, but with less American support?
It continues with enormous West European support. At the moment, we of course do see that there is an escalation of conflict because of West European involvement into that. They are supplying it with weapons, with money, with economic assistance, with political assistance. So this makes, of course, things much more difficult for us. That is true. But as we see that this support is running out, so it is becoming less and less. I would not comment on the next package of sanctions or money support that will be provided by European Union. The process is understandable, so the process that sooner or later it will come to an end.
Do you believe that President Trump and Steve Witkoff understand the Russian position in a way that previous American administrations have not?
I haven't been, of course, in Alaska, where they discussed things about reports from Alaska and what President is saying, and those who were involved into that, they are saying that Americans do understand the situation, really do understand and have an understanding what should be done, and we are acting now on the basis of the understandings that has been reached in Anchorage in Alaska. That includes all elements, and what we know is that Americans has made to us a proposal. This proposal has been put on the table, and we agreed finally. But then Europeans, together with Zelensky, they started to dictate a different proposal that differs very much from what Americans have suggested.
And here and now, how close are we to serious peace talks starting again?
A serious peace talk has started already in Geneva. Before that, we did have 3 rounds of talks in Istanbul, but they have led only to exchange of prisoners. Serious peace talks are going on. I cannot reveal details. So we agreed with Americans and with the Ukrainians to keep it covered, not open.
So if LBC people are listening to this interview and wondering, is there any real hope of this war ending, for instance, this year? What would you say to them?
That depends on agreements that will be reached based on proposals that I have already designated. So there is a possibility. There is a possibility, of course. Yes.
And if not, for how long would Russia carry on fighting?
Well, come on, we have all resources. Everybody knows how big we are, how resourceful Russia is, how many people live over there. We have no troubles with economy.
So we could be sitting here next year talking about the same thing.
Prediction, it's a bad business. It is. Any kind of prediction.
That's certainly true, Ambassador. Thank you very much indeed.
Good. Thank you too, Andrew.